Good morning and welcome everybody. Thank you very much for making the time and getting up early and coming down here. I'm Rebecca Carrow and I run creative agency Secrets. We're a mostly business-to-business marketing agency and we provide outsourced marketing services for our clients. What we do is we find the latest marketing ideas, often from overseas, and we translate them into what works here in the New Zealand market. So I see ourselves as 50% a translation agency and 50% a doing agency. So working with our clients, we work with them month in, month out, doing regular ongoing work, sometimes with the client's in-house team, sometimes the client doesn't have an in-house team and we do the work for them. Part of our own marketing and a philosophy that we espouse for our clients is using education as a marketing tool, and that's the reason you're all here today. We put on events with partner organisations and together showcase a small aspect of marketing that we think may be useful for you in the different businesses that you work. We record the event so that it's available afterwards should you wish to review it again or share it with colleagues, or you may have noticed when you signed up for the ticket there were 2 ticket options. Yes, I'd like to be there on the day, or I can't be there, please send me the recording. And I will explain why. This enables us to build our mailing list of people who like our stuff but for one reason or another can't be here. And guess what? We have a lot of people who are very similar, who are signed up today but actually aren't physically here. But welcome to you all when you're watching this online. Today I'm really pleased to be talking for the first time about video. I'm a little bit ashamed that I've been running these events for so long and I've never done one about video, and I'm blooming well ought to have done. So today is a really important day for us, and I'm delighted to welcome Arthur from Video Life, who's going to come and give us the inside line in how video is really transforming a large number of business marketing today.
Good morning everyone. Yes, my name is Arthur, and thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you to Rebecca and Creative Agency Secrets for the opportunity to partner with them and just talk about this incredibly powerful tool. I don't claim to have all the answers at all, but I do claim to have been in business for 11 years in this field and kind of been in video for most of my life. So I know a little bit, but you can teach me things, and hopefully I can teach you a little bit today as well.
Welcome to Video Life. We're here to find amazingly creative ways to help your business grow and bring your imagination to life. Whether it be a good old Batman-style wake-up call for your sales team, or creating an engaging public face for your business. We have all the tools to bring your marketing message alive on screen. Utilising the latest in 2D and 3D technology, Video Life can manage your production, shoot your video, and then integrate animated components with live action to achieve stunning results. Video really is a tool that will improve your bottom line. Talk to us today and turn your imagination into reality.
So today we want to cover 3 aspects, as has been already mentioned in the marketing speak that you have seen. Here they are on the screen. Why video in business? What kind of video is best for your business, and how do I introduce video? And maybe we'll be handing a bit of Q&A later if there's some time. So firstly, why video in business? And here are some key aspects. Video is highly effective. If you look at the stats coming out in terms of your return on your investment. Now, we're a small business. I started the company 11 years ago. I know what it's like to have to stretch your dollar as far as you can, because everybody is whispering in your ear or shouting in your ear and saying, you need to spend on this because this is what's going to improve your bottom line. But it is very impressive to see what's coming out. 93% of marketers used video in 2013. And if you look at the stats coming out this year, that number is creeping up. And 52% named video as content with the best ROI. So even though I love video production, I'm passionate about the power of video. We've coined the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth 1,000,000. I still believe that Any company needs to have the following framework: a good website, a website that is optimized, because a website without optimization is pretty much useless these days, and then there needs to be a video component on that website. But that all costs money, and I'm sure that Rebecca will be talking more about the big picture.
It's been the most successful campaign we've ever done. It was probably one of the best marketing investments we've made since we've been in business.
Creates the interest of the customer and provides an entrance to the discussion. Go for it. It's such a great way to get messages across.
Being at the cutting edge of effective communication is vital for these marketing professionals.
We decided to try video because we were looking for something innovative and fresh.
We wanted to provide a snapshot of all the services that we provide across the country.
We're looking for passion, and we wanted to get that same passion across in our marketing material. And quite honestly, you can't do that with paper-based materials.
So getting something visual and oral that children can tune into, I think, will be a real success.
We were able to combine not only professional development for teachers, but also the sale of the product itself. So it was a wonderful way to combine those two things that we wouldn't have been able to do if we just used traditional media.
Video takes your message straight to the heart of your customer in the most powerful way possible.
In any marketing campaign,
Right,
it's
let's move on. I'll cut that video short, thank you. Continuing on the theme, point one, why video in business? There's some common misconceptions about video. Let's just run through them firstly. I can do it myself. One of the most common phone calls we get is from small to medium-sized business owners who say, I've had my handy cam out and I've tried recording a message that I can put up on my website. And the lighting looks crap and the audio I can't hear properly. Can you help me? And we're willing to help people. We've given tips and tricks to many customers over the years, and some have just gone in and done it themselves with a microphone on the table, and, or a radio mic tip to their camera, and various things that have helped to sharpen up. But if you want to step beyond that, you really do need some help from a professional in terms of making your video. Second misconception is that it costs too much. The great news for you guys is that the relative cost of video, say on your website, compared to 10 years ago, is probably about 1/3 of what it cost then to have it professionally done. And the cost continues to go down. That's the bad news for us, because we've got to constantly find new ways to sharpen our pencil and to offer you the same quality at a lower price. Audio doesn't matter. When I get up in business presentations, I say to people, what do you think is the most important part of video? And of course, I give them the ways, it's audio. If you watch your feature on Friday night on Sky and you can't hear what the actors are saying, you have to guess your way through the movie. And none of us would watch for longer than a few minutes doing that. Audio is almost more important than what you see on the screen. And similarly with lighting. Very, very important to get that lighting right so that you can be seen and seen well. And that's where professionals can come in and help you with a great job. So what kind of video is best? One of the things that we try and do as a point of difference is to bring that really creative side to video. So when we sit down with you, potentially looking at a video for your business, we're going to put a significant amount of time on the creative treatment for your video. Give you an example.
At Dreaming with Purpose, we help awaken your initial idea, creating something a little unexpected. We help nurture your business. We co-labor together, helping to create all the resources you need for the next phase. Once things are humming along, we create the right environment so that your business can flourish. It's all this that makes dealing with Dreaming with Purpose surprise you with a touch of magic.
So that customer came to us and said we'd like to have a different approach to promoting our message, and one of our team is a 3D and 2D animator, and he came up with that. It was a pretty cost-effective solution. I think he did all that in less than a day. And so they were very, very happy with that as a creative way of coming around. Then what the best kind of video encompasses great management. And so one of the things that we try and do as a company is we deliver on time and on budget. So if you're going to spend $2,000 on your video, you know that you will be spending $2,000. If you vary the cost, then we talk to you about the variations on the budget. But we deliver on budget. It needs to be, it needs to have gear that is well managed if you're going to keep on budget as well. We talked about that. Let's just keep moving through. What kind of video? Well, a whole range of types of video, I'm sure that you're aware. So let's just have a look at some of these. Many organisations, businesses want their company overview. So this is just a little snippet. I'll just play a short part of this one for Smart
Smart
Environmental.
Choice is the simple choice for a sustainable future. Our solutions-based approach to the safe, efficient and responsible management of a wide variety of waste streams means we can help you to make the right choice for the environment and your community.
I think the fundamental difference with Smart Environmental and partners that we privately own is we listen closely to our clients. We bring bespoke solutions as opposed to what we call cookie and co approaches. And part of that approach is working closely in council with the communities and operating locally.
First, we understand your needs.
Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so for Smart, we combine a number of different aspects of video there. As you can see, on-screen graphics, animated maps, and of course the live video that they require. So that's a company overview, and there are many ways of coming around that. Then this next one, I'll just show you a snippet of a local jeweler over in Howick who wanted to rebrand and use video to put out 5 case studies instead of
At
5
Schrader,
slides.
we love a great romance. With more than 30 years' experience in the design and manufacture of wedding jewellery, we know we have that extra edge to help make your special journey together a perfect one. Committing to a person for life is a big step. We're excited about bringing the benefits of our experience and history to the freshness and originality of your engagement and wedding pieces.
Vic and I have been together for about 4 years, and I sort of thought it was time to make an honest woman and get engaged. Managed to sneak out on a few trips to go see Chris, and I had all these different ideas in my mind, size and shape and colour, and Chris took all of those, and when I first saw the ring, it was just perfect. It was exactly what I envisioned.
It was the perfect time to pop the question.
Right, let's
My beautiful
move
lady.
on. You find out the outcome and it's exciting. They are still married. A great cost-effective way to get the message out is for you, if you have a little bit of camera presence, to actually speak to the camera, piece to camera. A better way is if you can get one of your satisfied clients and get them to piece the camera or tell their story. And of course, what we did there is we got the actual couple who our customer, Schrader, approached and said, would you mind being on video? So it didn't cost him anything. They were our actors. And we told their story, we interviewed them in their home, a little snippet that we cut from there. We took them on the beach and we did a recreation of the engagement. And that's how Schrader is now promoted. So promotional induction, we don't do as many of these, but for bigger companies, contractor and employee induction videos, if you're into that sort of thing. Training, of course, is a big thing. This is part of training today. Conference, TVCs, so we kind of do that whole spectrum. Just a short example of a TVC.
Ready?
Yes.
Hi there, are you ready to order?
Then chickens.
One second, steak, sure. It's one steak, thank you.
Eat what you want, not what you can. Call 0800 866 844 now for an information pack on how Duchenne dental implants can give you back your confidence.
So we're best positioned for not the telecoms and Vodafones of this country who would always deal through a marketing advertising agency, and then that agency would outsource their video needs. We do some work for those advertising agencies. But where we do most of our work is where a client like yourself would come direct to us. You can't afford an advertising agency, and then we would work through the creative, the marketing pitch, and come up with a video for you. And then thirdly, how do I introduce video? Well, my recommendation would consist of a number of things. Firstly, use an experienced supplier that thinks outside the box. We talked about the creativity side of things, understands marketing. And of course, Rebecca's here today to help you in that wider field. So it's really, really important that the key messages that you want to be conveyed are in fact conveyed by that video. So it doesn't just entertain, but it's actually striking to the heart of who you are. Understands process. Huge amounts of customers' money is wasted by run and gun type single sole traders or small outfits that can do quite a good job with the camera and the audio, etc. But they aren't familiar with process to the same extent, particularly for medium-sized companies. And then they start going over budget and coming back to you and say, oh, we can't fit everything into the day's shoot. And you'll be hearing more about the integration with other things. Hugely important. It's an integrated approach these days, not just website, video, whatever. And we talked about delivering on budget. So a few practical starting tips for introducing video into your business. Key to every business owner, review your marketing spend. And it probably will mean some fairly important changes in your paradigm. I remember the day about 6 years ago, no offense to Yellow Pages, when we pulled the plug on all our Yellow Pages advertising because it just wasn't working. People weren't going, they were moving. I remember 2.5 years ago when we started paying a search engine optimization company to get our rankings higher on search. We've shifted from that company now to an even bigger one. We're spending a lot of money for a company our size to try and get those rankings. So really important that you shift your marketing spend to fit the current digital age, and then build video into your budget. So plan it, otherwise it won't happen, because it's going to cost you some hard-earned money to do it well. So plan it and then come to us and say, look, I've budgeted, well, how much do I need to budget? Can you put together a proposal for me, a quote, and then you know what to put into your budget for the next year. Thirdly, make sure that the company you're working with is thinking outside the box to utilize the footage in multiple ways. So it's not just a little promo about your company that's being shot, but you might think, well, down the track, I actually want to bring in a testimonial video. Well, I might want to use it on a screen in my reception, so it can be a loop video. So if you can get that company to quote you on a half-a-day shoot or whatever, and come in and shoot with 2 or 3 goals in mind, use every minute of that shoot time. Even though you might only edit the one video now, you've got footage waiting. So those kind of things can really help your budget. Draft a plan and execute in stages. So simple, basic, common sense stuff. But again, because it affects budget, follow through in stages. And as I said earlier, your plan of action should not just include video, but these other things that I'm sure Rebecca will be talking about. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate Rebecca being able to be part of this. There are business cards over there on the table, and also one of these little flyers that you can have a look at, which is an introductory, fully professional web video for $1.99 offer. And on your chair there should be a worksheet, which is just some questions that might help you in how to define a video as you're thinking through. Thank you.
Now, my job today is to take a marketing tactic like video and to try and help you understand the different contexts that it might work in your business. So I would have achieved my objective for this part of the talk if you were writing down ideas that occur to you. And I'm going to tell you at the end of the talk, there's going to be a challenge. Get ready. One of the things I want to start off with is to talk about the difference between marketing strategy and marketing tactics. A lot of people get these confused, and the reason I want to be very firm about starting with this is because most activity that my business does is tactics. Marketing strategy is when you set your overall objective, your goal. We want to work with all of the top importers of cars. We aim by Christmas to have recruited 5 new clients who are in the HR industry. We want to work with every plumber who's in the Auckland area. That's your strategy. How you get to be working with these organisations is the tactics, the doing bit. And that's the bit that we work on. The strategy can be set by a marketing agency, and we can set strategy, but it's better if it is set or led by the business and the business owner. We want to be the best known painting firm in Takapuna. We want our brand values of quality and delivery on time and on budget to be the main reason why people choose to work with us. Those are strategies. Now let's get on to the tactics. One of the things that video does that is so different from a lot of other marketing tactics is it's really attention grabbing. Has anyone here used Facebook on their mobile phone in the past week? Do you notice when you scroll down your newsfeed if there's a video in there, it now starts playing? You don't have to click through onto YouTube or another site to actually animate that. Guess why? I mean, I lay in bed last night, and I'm not afraid to say this, laughing at a video about cats and water. It was clever. It was home shop video, but I wouldn't have clicked through to it, but because it started to play, I just lay there giggling for 5 minutes. It's a fantastic way of getting your message across. As a firm, Creative Agency Secrets is mostly about doing one thing for our clients, and that is communication. It's a messaging tool, and there are lots of different ones that can get your message to the people you want to hear your message, whether they're dairy farmers or people who are buying signs. Multiple learning modes is about how people acquire knowledge. Think back to when you were at school. There would have been teachers who would have stood at the front of the class and everything was written on the blackboard, whiteboard, projected. And some people find learning by writing brilliant. But there are other people who like to learn by hearing and find writing a distraction. And then there are still other sorts of people who like to learn by experiencing or doing, it's called kinesthetic learning. And you cannot presume to know that your audience are all of one of those types. Now, I know I'm a writing learner. I would prefer to read a book than watch a video if I was given the choice. But I do know that my husband is completely the opposite. He would prefer to listen to something or watch something. And so video gives you the best possible chance of capturing the attention of people, whatever their preferred learning style is. The instant expert factor is something that, because we work with B2B, is part of that education approach. If you are prepared to stand up and say what you think about a particular topic that you know about, the presumption in the audience is that you know what you're talking about. How marvellous is that? And guess what? Somebody with authority is listened to. And that means your message gets through. So that's a really useful factor. And search engine optimization as well. I regularly just do searches for random things, and I notice whether or not video or image is showing up in search results. I often do the same result, same search several times. I search for my name. Now I'm lucky I have a slightly unusual name, I'm very easy to find online. But when you do your search and the page of results comes up, have you ever noticed the different tabs? One says news, One says video, one says images. So you can then go and see where Google thinks it is finding the answer to your question. Having said that, on the first page, it produces an aggregation of them. Just have a look yourself next time you're searching and see where video shows up. Because I think the Google algorithm is now favouring video and image more than it used to. This is a wonderful survey. If you're in B2B, the demand generation survey is done every year. This happened to me from a couple of years ago, but the pattern is continuing. The percentage of respondents using each of these marketing techniques, so these are different tactics to get to your audience. The first one is learn more or contact us, which for a complex sale is often an important stage in the buying process. And look at that, videos comes out number 2. Now that trend is continuing. More and more people are choosing audio and video over the written word. And I think that that's something that we need to pay attention to. Here are some reasons why we're really drawn to video. You're all there, I'm looking at your eyes, you're looking at my face. My face moves. It moves and I gesture and I have expressions. And I'm not an actor. You can get people's attention by your tone of voice, by smiling, by frowning, using expression. So that is really, really good. And that's why I actually like what they call talking head videos, where it's actually a person, because it draws your attention. Voice is another thing. I can communicate with words and I can communicate with silence. One of our clients hires us to do a podcast once a month with them. And the podcast takes the form of an interview, and it's done over Skype. You're not face to face. If you're face to face, I can look at you and I can go, time out, stop talking. I can't do that on Skype because I choose not to use the video function. So I have a rule with the interviewee. They know the questions, and what I say to them is, please, when I ask the question, give me your answer, and then just pause around about that amount of time, and if I have a supplemental question to ask, I will ask it then. And if I don't say anything, you can carry on talking and give an expanded answer. Because my job as the interviewer is to keep track of time. You know, sometimes you have people who want to give really lovely detailed answers, but I know that there are 9 other questions that I need to get through in the next 10 minutes. And so, in the silence, we've had a communication. You were all expecting me to do that pause. But if I hadn't said the word pause, it wouldn't have looked unusual in the context of a communication. Now, who of you have sales roles that you are expected to bring in business for your businesses? One of the most powerful silences that I use in sales is to ask one question and then shut up. And the question I ask is usually at the end of a meeting where it is clear at this point in time we're not going to be going forward and doing some business together. But you've invested time seeing me, I've invested time seeing you. And my question is this: do you know anyone else who might like to meet us? Hands up, who started thinking about people who might like to meet us? It's really interesting. You sow the seed of the question, and if you do not interrupt that thought process, a lot of people's brains will obediently answer the question. If you stay silent until they speak, they will carry on thinking about the answer to that question. You may not get an introduction, but that's the power of silence. Emotions are contagious. Yeah, if I smile, my voice lifts, and some of you are now smiling back at me. It really, really works like that. And lastly, of course, movement. I don't mind moving around. Theo told me off last time I did a presentation because I stood in the wrong place and walked to the other side and I didn't show up the video. But having a little bit of movement rather than just a single head talking also means that people notice things changing. Here are some things that you can use your video for, and I'm not going to judge about what sort of video it is. Regular content. Anyone who has a blog, it could be a video blog, it could be a written blog and an audio blog, and it could also have moving pictures. And there are a lot of people who like to consume video and short video. And if you're confident talking, if you're confident that you have some simple editing skills, you can blog using video. Useful things, and it doesn't have to be created by you either. You can curate content that you find online. Video as a lead capture. A lot of people sign up today because they want the video that we're going to be showing after we've recorded this session. And guess what's going to happen? They're now sitting at this end of my sales funnel and Arthur's sales funnel too. And they will be contacted by us once we've published the video. And we'll start seeing whether or not there's a meeting to be had, a discussion to be had that might lead to business. Do you all know what a squeeze page is? A squeeze page or a landing page is a unique page on your website which is designed to do one thing and one thing only. And that is to get the watcher, the person who's come to that page, to reveal their identity to you. One of the problems with the internet as a marketing tool is that it's anonymous. And now you can also do anonymous browsing as well. I do not know who you are. I know that you may have viewed this page. I might know your IP address. If I have a couple of little clever tools and you are browsing at work, I might be able to find out that that IP address is owned by your business, but I don't know that it's you. By using landing pages or squeeze pages, the clever marketer can bring you to a particular part of the website and ask you to do something, to give me your email address. And it's done as a very explicit exchange of value. If I give you something, will you give me something back? And what I might offer you is you could watch, the video that explains the product, and then say, and now I can send you something further if you put your email address in. And that can trigger an autoresponder email series, which of course can also then go into your lead gen pipeline and to your sales team. Video squeeze pages, I think, are one of the most powerful tools. And it's important on that landing page to have as few distractions as possible. So when we're designing them for clients, we remove the menus. I actually don't want you browsing around the rest of my site. You can work out what our URL is and strip out the extension and go back to our home domain if you want to. But ideally, I want you to come to that page and do one thing, whatever that one thing is. And then there's a thing that's called a reverse squeeze page, which is same principle. Come here and I want you to do one thing, but the video only shows after you've done the thing. So we have a couple of clients who've made unique pages on Facebook. Does anyone know that Facebook you can do custom tabs? You've probably seen that you can view someone's photo stream, you can put up events, you can do lots of different things. And we put up a custom tab that says, if you do this one thing, then you get a discount code or you get to join the newsletter or whatever it is. And so video, again, you can use it, but you can hold your video back until the person has revealed their identity. Here's what I would like you to do today. I would like each one of you in this room to commit to try some video for yourself. I don't mind if it's for your sport, if it's for your hobby, if it's for your business, if it's you and your cat. But this is what I'd like you to try and do. Has everybody got a smartphone? You can use your smartphone. We know about low production values, but I think the thing about video is you need to build your own confidence in the medium. Until you've done what Theo and I did the other day, which is sit in our meeting room in the office with a coffee cup turned upside down and the smartphone balanced on top, and angled so that you didn't cut my head off and didn't have a look at the ceiling pipes. Very attractive ceilings in our office, but you don't really want to see that. And record. And try and write something and record it that lasts a minute and a half. So do you think you can do that? And then I'm going to show you one last thing that you might want to use video for. This is called a pitch pack. It is my latest shiny object. You may touch it later. It comes through the post and it looks like a brochure, and in fact it is a brochure. This is one that is for a client in the UK, and you open it up. I'm going to pause it. What is it? It's a screen, a hard drive, a small speaker, and 4 buttons there, and these are volume buttons. So this has got about 17 minutes of video loaded up on it. It's been made by a professional company with, unfortunately, the unprofessional me at the front end, a little bit of phone number and email address overlay. I believe that video brochures is the next step for some businesses to get attention. So if you're the sort of business that can explain yourself on video and that sells to people with a large ticket price, you're selling something that either over the lifetime value of the relationship will be tens of thousands of dollars, or it's a one-off sale and it's going to have a few noughts on the end. This is a marketing tactic you might want to consider. You can personalise it. Imagine opening this and it says, "Hello Chris, Rebecca here. I'm sending you this video because I want to come and meet you. And here's why, because I think our businesses can do some work together." Do you think Chris might take the meeting?
Cost.
Variable.
Cool.
Value?
I already see the value.
Broadly speaking, you need to use this not in isolation, but in the context of a campaign which has other elements. You might want to put a unique landing page on the copy that's on the inside front cover. You might want to have an outbound mail campaign, a telephone marketing campaign to follow it through, because it isn't a cheap brochure. It is more costly than most print. But I think it delivers results. So I'd like to do a quick show of hands. If this cost 250 New Zealand dollars per unit, do any of you think you might have a client or you yourselves might use it? Quick show of hands. Put your hand up if the cost came down to 200.
Keep going.
The actual cost of the graphic design and the internals, not the video, not the campaign, is in the order of $100 to $125 a unit. And it comes in different sizes, so you can have it at A4 size, you can have it at, this is slightly below A5 size, you can have it with only 2 video buttons, you can have it with more or less memory, with a slightly different size screen. So some variations, but you probably can guess in your own mind how much you need to get back in sales in order to decide that something like this was a useful tool. Now here's what we're doing with some of our clients. We're making them a reasonably generic outer wrapper. It basically says the name of the business of what they do, because they can then upload different videos for different parts of their business or for different situations. So we have a client who is going to a conference. They've got a trade stand at the conference and they're using this to get their key prospects to visit their stand. They're only buying 100 of these. But if they don't use 100, there's a tiny little USB port which you can see at the bottom there. You can then upload different video for a different event. And It's pretty reusable if you get it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I suppose the aspect of that as well is you can offer a discount if they return it when they come and buy your product.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's reasonably robust, and it's got a couple of creases. I'll pass it around. You know, it goes through the post, so you're reliant on whatever New Zealand Post or Mail or whatever it does with it. But that's where I want to live up. I want you guys to commit to taking a video and sharing it with me or one of the rest of the team. And I've put on the slide deck, which we'll share with you, some of the online sources that have got a little bit more information that you might want to research further into different uses of video. And my last thing is, I'd very much like to connect with you on LinkedIn. If any of you are on LinkedIn and haven't yet connected with me, please send an invite, and let's do it again. Does anyone have any questions for Arthur? Questions for myself? Well, then let's just talk to the group.
Sorry.
That's my parking. If anyone sees that silver Golf's mine. You see a meter maid coming around the corner. Sorry.
Yeah, so are they just here or are they?
We have the license to make it for New Zealand. A website will be pitchpack.co.nz, and I've brought the domain number for the site up yet. But we'll make them for everyone. Sorry.
Alpha, what's your preference in terms of clients bringing in their own footage and things like that? So, it makes their own iPhone or GoPro footage and stuff like that. Instead of pain in the ass to you and you rather do it yourself, I'm sure that's your comment.
It's a compliment to our business. Sorry, your name is?
Sorry, I'm Chris.
Chris, it's a compliment to our business. I mean, I think any architect or video producer would love to start from scratch, you know, clean slate and come up with creative and do it all. But more and more, I think we have learned to be flexible. We picked up a client, AgriHealth New Zealand, in May this year, and they wanted us to video their annual conference, had international speakers, which was the cream of the job. But they said, oh, could you help us with a few other things? One of the things was they wanted a couple of testimonial videos on the PowerPoint show that was being used by one of the speakers. And they had these 2 iPhone video files taken of farmers in the Waikato saying something about the product on their cattle. And they were bad lighting, the audio was muddy, and
every farmer mumbles.
Yeah. But we said, give them to us, and we put them into our edit suite. We did some color correction, we did what we could with the audio, and we put a title on, etc., and made 2 15-second cool little testimonials that they could put to their PowerPoint show. So yeah, we'd love to work with you in whatever way we can. So give us what you have.